Hello, can anybody hear me? Okay, good. You can hear me. My damn internet is shit today. Shit. Okay, Bree, can you still hear me? Sorry, I'm trying to fix this damn internet. Even though I don't, do I know you, Bree? You seem like you know me. Yes, what, Bree? Hi, blue jeans and pearls. Yeah, but it keeps cutting me off. I don't know what's up with it. Okay, you're good, Bree. So, some of the latest gossip. I'm gonna JLR here. There's a couple of things. Nobody answered. Yeah, I don't usually go live on this channel, so I don't really care. It's been acting up for a lot of people. See, I don't even really hang out on YouTube anymore. Every now and then I'll get on here for an hour and scroll and no, I don't know. Fuck YouTube. I'd rather go on TikTok. It's better than YouTube, in my opinion. You know, there's drama on there. It ain't like it is here. The true crime community is shit. Have y'all been following the border crisis shit down in Texas that JLR's been covering? I know it's an iffy topic, probably, but their governor or whatever of Texas, Abbott, he set a new law or something, or I don't know exactly what it is. But anyways, he like pretty much fired border control. Hi, priestess. Hey, love. You've been watching it, Blue Jean some. JLR, he covered 3 migrants drowned, which is not surprising, because they took Border Patrol out there. It's just the National Guard now. Let's watch this about those that drowned. It's really sad. It was a woman and 2 kids, I believe. But just to bring awareness on it, because they don't show us all that really. I mean, Fox News is all right, I guess, but I don't know. Nana, hey, love. Yep, Blue Jeans. A woman and 2 kids, I do believe. It is crazy down there. It's getting even crazier here. Let's watch this.
Jonathan Lee Riches investigates terrible news out of Eagle Pass, Texas. 3 migrants drowned to death while crossing over the Rio Grande into the United States illegally. Eagle Pass, Texas. That is the epicenter there where migrants have been coming over. Thousands upon thousands upon thousands. And recently, the Texas National Guard has taken over the area and kicked Border Patrol out. Friday we just had, 3 migrants crossing over has died. I want to share some information, a statement from a congressional member about this situation. Check it out. A statement just put out by 28th Congressional District Congressman Henry. I recently learned that 3 migrants, a female adult and 2 children, drowned in the Rio Grande River near.
Blue Jeans, yes. That was Border Patrol that was doing that. That was cutting the razor wire and stuff. Yeah, and they fired them pretty much. Border Patrol ain't there no more. They're gone. And it's really nice. It's dangerous, but it's nice to see people step up and enough's fucking enough with this, and you're letting these people in, and I'm okay with people coming in, but be legal. Don't be sneaking in. If you're sneaking in, then it's wrong. It's not right. It's just fucking crazy and dangerous.
Shelby Park in Eagle Pass. Border Patrol learned on Friday, January 12th, 2024 at approximately 9 p.m., so it was dark, that a group of 6 migrants were in distress as they attempted to cross the Rio Grande River. Border Patrol attempted to contact.
Nana, I agree, but I don't agree with, especially, I agree with the children, but not the women. The women are adults. They know better. They can say, no, I'm not doing this. It's not right. I don't feel sorry for the women. I really don't. And it's probably horrible of me to say, but if you're sneaking in here illegally, any adult, I don't feel sorry for. The children is what I feel sorry for because they're innocent. They don't have a say so in what they want to do. They got to go with their parents or their mom, or you know what I mean? I don't feel sorry for the adults. It's wrong, or you wouldn't be sneaking in, you know? And it's time to start. It's horrible to say, but make examples of these people. Come on now, enough's enough. In my opinion, Biden, fuck Biden. He can, let's go Brandon. Yeah, Biden's the reason for this. Like Trump had started the wall and stuff, and That's history, the wall. I mean, what the hell are they gonna do? They got to make an example of these people. It is what it is. You can't feel sorry for the adults, they know better. The children are the ones that's innocent in this and that I feel horrible for, and it's not right. They shouldn't, they're letting these people in illegally, they're cutting the fence and shit. Well, they're not now because Border Patrol's history, they're out of there. Don't bring your kids. I understand you want a better life for them, but like this woman and her 2 children, Some children are being sent with random people. See, that's crazy. It's something ain't right here, and I'm proud of the Abbott governor, whatever he is, commissioner, what is he? Whatever he is. He got Governor Abbott, yeah, the governor. He got fucking Border Patrol out there. Border Patrol was not doing their job, in my opinion. It's not right.
The Texas Military Department and the Texas National Guard and DPS command posts by telephone to relay the information, but were unsuccessful. Border Patrol agents then made physical contact with the Texas military and the Texas National Guard at the Shelby Park entrance gate and verbally relayed the information. However, Texas Military Department soldiers stated they would not grant access to the migrants, even in the event of an emergency, and that they would send a soldier to investigate the situation. Earlier today, Saturday, January 13, 2024, the 3 migrant bodies were recovered by Mexican authorities. Border Patrol personnel were forced out of Shelby Park earlier this week by the Texas National Guard under order of Governor Abbott. As a result, Border Patrol was unable to render aid to the migrants and attempt to save them. This is a tragedy. And then it also says here, and the state bears responsibility. Very, very interesting. What do you think? Terrible. Now I'm going to show you a clip. There's lots of clips out there, but migrants go across the Rio Grande River there, right by the park, right by the 2 bridges. We've been there on JLR Investigates. News Nation's been there. I'm going to share a News Nation clip to just show you from one side to the other, just the long line of migrants crossing over that particular area. Check it out.
This is insane. Look at this shit.
So let me ask you something here. I know recently Border Patrol gets kicked out. Texas National Guard takes over. Now we got 3 migrants drowning. Think that's in a relation in any way? Because usually Border Patrol allows the migrants to come in once they cross, or helps and rescues migrants on the river, right?
Hey,
go around in one
Cha.
of those airboats. But
Hey,
now Border
love.
Patrol's not in the area. It's just Texas National Guard, and they're deterring people. It's not good seeing people lose their lives. However, crossing over in the United States illegally is illegal, and it's not right either. So
I agree.
What do you think? Subscribe to my channel, hit the...
I agree with JLR. That's an invasion, Cha. That used to happen all day, every day. That invasion bullshit. Like thousands of fucking illegals would come in every single day there. And Governor Abbott of Texas has stepped up and like, no, we're fucking done with this. Enough's enough. No. I like Ted Cruz as well, Nana. Yeah, and the missing children. I had this picture. It's been a long time I've seen of these kids from these people crossing illegally over to our country. It's just a bunch of kids in a cage. It's like, and then after I seen JLR covering this, he's doing a great job covering this border crisis shit. For real, he is. I don't care what anybody says about him. Y'all don't talk about my man. Um, but I guess he's now I know they get arrested and taken to this place, then they get released somehow while they're waiting to go to court or some shit. But it makes sense why the kids are all together in a cage, like because their parents are locked up. So what do they think is happening to these kids? I mean, every single day there's kids coming into this country trying to, and they get captured. It's human trafficking, in my opinion. I don't know. Kind of seems like it because they don't know where these kids go. The parents probably don't care as long as they get in the country. Maybe it's a trade out. Maybe, allegedly, in my opinion. Yes, cha. Human tracking. I agree. It's kind of what it seems like. Traffic jams. It's who's Marjorie, Nana? I don't know who some of these people are. It's really heartbreaking. It is. It really is. It breaks my heart for these kids. And here is, hold on here. Let's go through. There's a little bit of him at the migrant center. I don't know. I seen this earlier. No, I didn't see that Blue Jeans and Pearls. Oh wow, it don't surprise me though. I seen them doing it in New York City. I seen them taking buses and just dropping them off at this hotel, like, and it's like I seen where Trump was making them do some kind of DNA at the border or something. I think it was Trump. All little kids. Oh my God, that's horrible. That's in Tennessee. Hmm. Marjorie Taylor Greene. She on YouTube, Nana? They're taking it literal and using it to death. It's we can't even help our own people. Or we can, but this is where they've chose to put their time and energy for all this time.
Center in Brownsville, Texas, and it's a church, and we came here. So under Biden's program, the asylum-seeking migrants from Mexico come come across the border in Brownsville, Texas, and then come here at this location. And I don't know, just look at the clothes. Guys, we're gonna go with this trailer. New unused notebook, pens, and pencils. Look at the clothing. Look at the clothing. Interesting.
So I don't know what is going on here, guys.
We got clothing here in bags.
Bags, we got stuff. We got. I don't even know. Yeah, I'm not sure. Maybe you know what probably happened. I'm guessing is during.
Well, some people are bringing stuff in here, clearly.
Yeah.
You know?
Yep. Yes, sir.
You're gonna get some good, some bad, and some unknown. So what did the internet say about this place?
So this place was for a while. This place was being used for migrants to come here and get clothing, food, shelter, and then they would go shipped to buses, to the bus station or other forms of transportation, and then sent out to U.S. cities.
So where's that?
So they get their hearing. They get their hearing. They get a hearing. They get assigned a hearing. They get assigned a hearing, which is it's so backlogged right now. It's 1 to 2 years later. We know most of them aren't going to go for their hearing.
Where are we going next? To a bridge?
So we're going to the International Bridge.
The cross that they used to have.
Oh yeah. Can I walk over there? So this is where some of the activity used to be. But it looks like they probably folded up the camps here and went somewhere else, probably someplace more luxurious because Biden is paying for it. I mean, I'm guessing that's what's going on. You know? So you can see, check this out.
He cracks me up. I love him. he's on it though.
So there's the name of the facility. You can have people Google it.
Yeah. Hey, put the next location.
Okay.
He is on it.
All right, so we're trying to track down the migrant camps and the respite centers, the migrant, where the church services.
I agree, Chad Biden.
Migrants are held. Emergency
Texas
migrant
is
centers,
stepping
whatnot, as the border crisis gets worse. Obviously, now we're at the point where over 100,000 people a month are coming into the country illegally. Some under asylum status, some just crossing over illegally. So we are out here in Brownsville, Texas, a group of us. So that was taken a few years ago. The migrant crisis has been much, much worse since then. That was at the beginning stages, a couple months after Joe Biden went into office. Now, thousands upon thousands of migrants cross over into the United States illegally every single day. Respite centers are being set up across cities in America, Chicago, New York City, Denver, for instance. But these migrant shelters, respite centers are packed to capacity, and migrants are now flooding out into the streets, nowhere to go, trash all over the place, trash left behind, and the situation is getting much, much worse. Boots on the ground, JLR Investigates. Check out my playlist. I've been going to southern cities in Texas, and we'll continue to cover this situation. Where's all the, who's funding this? What about this operation? What about these NGOs and churches, like a church I just showed you out of Brownsville? Who sponsors this? What's the operational aspect of this? And how much longer will all of this go on? People call this a migrant crisis. Do you agree or disagree? I'll be reading the comments. We will talk soon. JLR Investigate.
Yeah, I remember when they tried to blame him on Trump. Yeah, it's really sad. Biden has vacations in Truckee. Let's see here. I had something once about Ted Cruz. Let me see. Oh, here's the thing about the kids in cages. Hold on here. This was 8 months ago.
took my son to the zoo today. And you know what he said to me? He goes, Dada, animals don't belong in cages. They need to roam free. And I looked at him. I said, oh, baby, don't worry about it. Those aren't animals. Those are just immigrants. I think that's what you call them, the governor of Texas. I think he just referred to them as immigrants. Nobody cares about them. Soon, they'll be sex trafficked. Soon, they'll be sold for slavery.
Hey,
Who
Robin.
knows? Maybe we'll even just use them for body parts. But it doesn't matter because, unlike yourself, there is no mommy or daddy to come protect them and save them. Now, but you can't tell anybody about this picture, son, because this is secret documents that daddy's got. This picture is secret documents. Now I'm thinking that maybe I should share this with Joe Biden. I mean, for all we do know, he is the president of the United States of America. And he should have access into seeing what is happening at our borders. Hundreds of thousands of babies tortured, extorted, trafficked. The last time I looked, and this is not about Joe Biden or Donald Trump, I'll just give you some facts. The last time I looked, that the left extreme media went apeshit when they found out about a few hundred kids under Donald Trump's watch. This is hundreds of thousands of them under our current administration. I hate seeing this. And then more than that is I hate that I'm just one voice and there's nothing I can do about it. Then that I'm out.
Yeah, that was just 8 months ago. Hello, Lily. You're welcome. How you doing, Robin? It is awful what they do, Nana. That shit was just a little portion, you know? I posted that 8 months ago, so it wouldn't. I'm looking for. Where's the one I put up? Here we go.
We are witnessing an absolute travesty unfolding on our southern border. On Monday, we apprehended over 10,000 people on the border, the highest level in history. On Tuesday, we apprehended over 10,000 people on the border, again, the highest level in history. There are right now, where we're standing, more than 22,000 people camped just south of the border, getting ready to come across. Just in this location, in less than a month, we've had over 35,000 Venezuelans cross illegally just right here, not counting the whole rest of the border. Every day, just right here, they're encountering 90 to 100 Chinese nationals. Now, for anyone that doesn't have their globe nearby, China is not immediately to the south of the United States. But 90 to 100 a day are crossing illegally on this border, being smuggled in by Mexican drug cartels. And I have to say, I am angry because this is deliberate. This is a decision that was made by President Joe Biden and Kamala Harris and congressional Democrats to open up the border to what is nothing less than an invasion. Ask yourself, why is President Biden not here? Why is Kamala Harris not here? Why is Elizabeth Warren not here? Why is AOC, she still owns the white pantsuit. Why is she not here with her head buried in her hands? Because they don't give a damn about the dead bodies. 6 weeks ago, I asked Secretary Mayorkas how many migrants died in the past year crossing illegally. He said, I don't know. The number's 853. But he can't be bothered to worry about that. I asked him how many women have been sexually assaulted in the last year by human traffickers. He said, I don't know. Because the administration can't be bothered by that. I asked how many children have been physically and sexually assaulted. Again, I don't know. We're witnessing modern day slavery. And maddeningly, what the Biden administration has decided is they want more. Title 42 is expiring today, and you know what happens tomorrow? Those numbers go up. This is an invasion, and they want the numbers to go up. Let me say to the men and women from the Border Patrol who are heroes, they are extraordinary heroes, and we're down here to tell them thank you, to tell them we love you, to tell them we got your back, even as your political superiors are making it impossible for you to do your job. The Biden administration is really proud now that they have apps on their phone, that when someone crosses illegally, they can fill out an application in 2 minutes. This is the Amazon version of illegal immigration. They're going to make it fast and deliver them anywhere in the country. We've seen 6.5 million people cross illegally since Joe Biden became president, and the administration wants 6.5 million to be 10 million, to be 12 million, to be 15 million, to be 20 million. And the body bags that pile up, they can't be bothered to worry about. I'll tell you, the great state of Texas is on the front lines. The volume is overwhelming. It's got to stop.
Yeah, I like him too, Nana, a lot. Hey, Truly. How you doing, sis? I hope it ends too soon, Lily, but I don't see it. It's going to take a lot to straighten this fucking mess out, for real. Yeah, there is still a few good men, and I agree. Not very many, far and few between, but yeah. Freezing. Yeah. I think it's cold all over the country. I think our whole country's froze right now. It's really sad. Hush, Winnie. Winifred. Sorry, my little dog is Nikki. Hey, love. Her cooter stuck to the porch, y'all. She's froze to the porch. It's just crazy what's going on out there, y'all. Okay, have y'all where's it? Oh, here's something else about that JLR put. I haven't watched this. Hold on here. Let's see what he's going to be talking about here. The New York City migrant curfew.
Jonathan Lee Riches investigates. I want to share some information about the migrant crisis in New York City. The mayor,
Hey,
Eric
Ellen.
Adams, has now implemented a curfew at all the migrant centers. Migrants cannot go out at night. No more. 4 migrant respite centers in New York City. They are prohibiting migrants from leaving the facilities at night. I'm going to share a clip, give you some information about what's going on in New York City in reference to the migrants. Check it out.
In New York City, starting Tuesday, the city will impose a curfew on 1,900 migrants staying at 4 centers. The locations are in Queens, Manhattan, and Brooklyn. Migrants will need to be there between the hours of 11 p.m. and 6 a.m. Anyone who breaks the curfew 3 times in a 30-day period could get kicked out.
Now, that's a good thing. It's a good thing because covering the migrant crisis in San Antonio, I can tell you firsthand, the migrants at the migrant respite center there on San Pedro, 7,000 San Pedro, they are loitering and hanging out and camping out all night long there. Hundreds in the streets every single night. Let me give you an example of what's going on in San Antonio.
Venezuela, tengo tiempo. Camacho, su paseo, Colombia, Venezuela. La raza, México.
Now, San Antonio should do the same thing New York City is saying. If you're going to come here, which I don't even agree with personally, the migrant centers, but if you are going to come to a migrant center, you must remain in that center at night, 12 a.m. to 6 a.m. or from dark to morning time. New York City, apparently there has been problems with migrants panhandling in the area, committing crimes at night, begging people, going to stores, asking for money, standing at corners of busy streets, asking for money. And residents and the community members in these communities don't like it. Well, San Antonio is a mess. San Antonio is like the beginning stages of when the migrants get shipped around the country. San Antonio and San Pedro is where all the migrants who cross over the border illegally in South Texas, Brownsville, McAllen.
It's insane. Yeah, the shelters. I was watching that just not long ago, Ellen, about the shelters, especially right now where this code has come through. There's just no room for nobody. The people that really need it. Two children drunk. Oh my God. They just left their kids there. Oh my God. Tinfoil blankets. Literally tinfoil blankets. Yeah, I seen those. They look like a big old piece of aluminum foil. Right now, it's just not Mexicans. And, from Mexico, it's all kinds of people. It is getting worse, truly, and that's why I just stay home. Fuck this shit. Yep. Ellen, I literally seen literally tinfoil blankets. It's supposed to keep them warm, but come on, tinfoil blankets, tinfoil hat. Come on, what are they trying to say there? It's like they're trying to buzz out, us seeing what's really going on. They could have put those blankets in white or black or any color, but why tinfoil color? Come on. Messes up wave signals or something. Let's finish watching this.
Laredo, Eagle Pass, they all go to San Antonio. And San Antonio's respite center is so full, migrants are flooding out of there at night, or San Antonio just allows the situation to go on. So maybe San Antonio should do the same thing New York City is now doing. I say get rid of the migrant centers completely because you're enabling illegal immigration. You're undermining the people that want to come into the country legally. Thousands upon thousands of migrants coming across the U.S. border. It is a migrant crisis. Cities are at full capacity, sanctuary cities like New York City, Chicago and Denver.
Hold on
And
just
it
a
handled
second here. I'm gonna pause that just a minute here. For those that don't know what me and Ellen's talking about, the tinfoil blankets, if anybody here don't know or watches this on replay, let me show you. We're just gonna watch a little second of this. Let me see here. Hold on. There's a thing that you done on Abbott. Where is this fucking? Shit, that's not what I wanted. Hush, hush, Winifred. Hey, easy. Can't find. I wanted to show you. I don't know what he's done with all his videos, JLR. Let's see. Here is a speech that Abbott done I missed. I can't find the friggin' lives he done now. What the hell? All right, here we go. You can see it. See, look. Literal foil blankets. Isn't that crazy? Sorry, it took me a minute to find that. Look at that. That's every day that many plus more was coming in. Yeah, it is sad, Ellen. Very. Look at that. They all got them blankets. Every single one of them gets one of them blankets. It's fucking insane.
Anymore. But what happens is there's so many migrants, then they start flooding out. Now, you just heard, you got 3 chances in New York City, 3 chances to not violate curfew, and then you get kicked out. But some people might just say, screw your curfew, and just get kicked out anyway, and they're just going to be in the streets anyway. So I don't know even if that's the solution. Is it? What do you think? Subscribe to my channel, hit the notification button, covering the migrant crisis, shining light to the situation of what's going on with this border crisis. Check out my playlist.
Do y'all want to watch Governor Abbott's speech thingy he done on this? It was a while back, but it's already in effect now. But JLR has it. Here, if y'all want to watch it. I've done lost it, I believe. Right, Chili, they do. They get treated better than we do. They get everything better. It's not right. It's like, take care of our people first, please. We can talk about whatever. We don't have to stay focused on this, but now they're all going to Lukeville, Arizona, it seems like. Where is, I can't find it now. We will watch Governor Abbott because I've not even watched it myself. I know he put a stop to this shit. Fired the damn Border Patrol, which is good.
Apprehended. That's a 2,600%.
Some body washes are so boring. And
we are live. Hello, everyone. JLR Investigates. Governor Greg Abbott of Texas signed a bill just a little bit ago, and we're going to share this because it's a big, big deal in reference to migrants and the what we'll call border crisis on the Texas border. He has now signed a bill into law making illegal immigration a state crime. And they're vowing, starting in March, to arrest migrants that are crossing over the border illegally. There's a issue going on, big problems in Eagle Pass, Texas, Del Rio, Texas, El Paso, Texas, and other places in Texas. But this is at the same time, 10,000 migrants have been coming into this country in the last week illegally per day total. And that's a lot. It's at its most ever. And now governors, including Governor Katie Hobbs of Arizona, is now starting to say vow to fight back. So Governor Abbott signed a bill into law, and we're gonna listen to this press conference because I think it's a big, big deal. And I also think it's also going to be challenged on the federal level. I think there's going to be challenges to this for sure. But let's listen to the governor and this bill and what this is all about.
Well, thank everybody for being with us here today, gathered in front of this enormous wall that is being built by Texas, paid for by Texas taxpayers, for Texas doing its part to step up and trying to secure a border made wide open by Joe Biden. I want to thank the Texas Workforce Commission, which is charged with the responsibility of leading this construction effort. I want to thank the Texas legislature for providing the funding that pays for these border walls that we're putting up, as well as other barriers. I want to thank these construction workers over here. This wall would not go up without the work of the men and women who wear the hard hats, and we thank you. And I want to thank those with us here today for this bill signing ceremony, including Lieutenant Governor Patrick, members of the Texas legislature, General Seltzer from the Texas National Guard, the Texas Border Czar Mike Banks, and Brandon Judd, the president of the National Border Council. 4 years ago, the United States had the fewest illegal border crossings in about 40 years. It was because of 4 policies put in place by the Trump administration: in catch and release, Title 42, remain in Mexico, and building a border wall. That is what led to such a low number of people crossing illegally. Now, under President Biden, he has eliminated all of those policies and has done nothing to halt illegal immigration. Joe Biden's deliberate inaction has decimated America. 2 years ago, there was an all-time record number of illegal immigrants apprehended, more than 2.3 million. That's larger than the size of Houston, Texas. Then this last year, there was more than 2.4 million people apprehended crossing the border illegally. Again, larger than the size of Houston, Texas. altogether since Joe Biden has been president.
If you have an hour this week, you can learn 100 songs on the piano by learning just 4 chords. These. Check it out. And can you...
When you count those apprehended and the known gotaways, it adds up to about 8 million people crossing the border illegally. Now, I know that cities like Chicago and New York, they've had it with regard to the influx of migrants to their locations. But I don't think they truly know the magnitude of the damage caused to the United States by Joe Biden. Because 3 times the number of residents of Chicago have entered illegally under Joe Biden, and about equal the amount of total population of New York City have entered the country illegally under Joe Biden. But the problem is far more than just numbers. It's also a national security crisis. It's been reported that while Donald Trump was president, there were 11 people on the terrorist watch list who were apprehended. Under Joe Biden, however, that number has skyrocketed to 294 people on the terrorist watch list who've been apprehended. That's a 2,600% increase under Joe Biden. And it counts only those who are known to have been apprehended, who were known to be on the terrorist watch list. It does not include the people who were not apprehended, who were on the terrorist watch list, who paid more money to make sure that they were not caught. They were not apprehended. Last year, there were more than 24,000 people come across the border illegally from China. The Border Patrol recently warned to take extreme caution when it learned that 10 IEDs were found just across the border. The FBI director warned that the border poses a threat to national security. And the United Nations declared that the border between the United States and Mexico is the deadliest land crossing in the entire world. Biden's deliberate inaction has left Texas to fend for itself. The authors of the United States Constitution foresaw a situation when the federal government would be inattentive to states that faced challenges at their borders. And in response, they inserted Article 1, Section 10 to the United States Constitution to empower states to take action to defend themselves. And that is exactly what Texas is doing. I will sign 3 laws today to better protect Texas and America from Biden's border neglect. The first is Senate Bill 4 from the 4th special session. The goal of Senate Bill 4 is to stop the tidal wave of illegal entry into Texas. It creates a criminal offense for illegal entry into Texas from a foreign nation. For repeat offenders, it creates the offense of illegal reentry with a potential prison sentence term of up to 20 years. The bill provides a mechanism to order an illegal immigrant to return to the foreign nation from which they entered. I want to thank the Senate sponsor, Charles Perry, and the House sponsor, David Spiller, for getting this to my desk. Senate Bill 4 is now law in the state of Texas. I'm also signing Senate Bill 3 from the 4th special session. Senate Bill 3 adds $1.54 billion more to build more border barriers and walls like what we have here. It includes also $40 million for the Texas Department of Public Safety for border security operations and increased law enforcement presence. Texas has already completed more than 16 miles of wall, and we have under construction more than 33 miles of wall. In addition to that, more than 110 miles of razor wire barrier have been laid out. This law I'm about to sign will fund many more miles of wall and barrier just like this. Senate Bill 3 will help to deter illegal immigration and support our law enforcement response to the Biden border crisis. Senate Bill 3 for more border wall construction is now law in the state of Texas. And last of the bills today is Senate Bill 4 from the 3rd special session. It involves smuggling and stash houses. Smuggling illegal immigrants has gotten out of control. In 2017, there were 370 arrests for smuggling illegal immigrants in Texas. Now in 2023, that number has skyrocketed to 7,700 arrests for smuggling illegal immigrants in Texas. That's more than a 2,000% increase. It's not just the cartels doing it. Many Texas residents are doing it. Cartels advertise on TikTok and enticing residents to make a quick buck. Too often the smugglers are released back out on the streets. What Senate Bill 4 does is it puts an end to that process. It creates a mandatory 10-year minimum prison sentence for smuggling illegal immigrants. It also creates a 5-year minimum prison sentence for operating a stash house in Texas. I want to thank Senate Sponsor Pete Flores and House Sponsor Ryan Guillen for getting this to my desk. Senate Bill 4, cracking down on human smuggling and stash houses, is now law in the state of Texas. And I want to go back because I think, before I signed the border wall funding, I neglected to.
This mistake is costing Amazon Prime shoppers big. Are you still using Prime? Because
mention the sponsors of that bill who deserve credit, and that is Senate Sponsor Joan Huffman and House Sponsor J.C. Jatan. Thank you all for getting that bill to my desk. Now I will turn things over to Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick.
Thank you, Governor, and thank our three senators, Senators Perry, Senator Pete Flores, and Senator Joan Huffman for their work on these three bills in their House counterparts. The Governor has acknowledged. The Senate's proud to push forward the state of Texas to be the leader in defending not only the citizens of Texas, but the citizens of the United States from Biden's policies. During President Trump's last year, there were between 400,000 and 500,000 people who crossed the border illegally. And now we've seen those numbers, as the Governor acknowledged, up to 2 million or more. The 8 million that the Governor referenced, if you put them all in one area, they would be the 12th or 13th largest state in the country. And they've all come here illegally. Those terrorists, those sex offenders, those murderers that our great Department of Public Safety and our Border Patrol, our local law enforcement, that they apprehend, that's just probably a small number of those who cross that we don't see. The 8 million that Biden has let in, well, we know, you talk to law enforcement, do we get one out of every two or one out of every three? We have a 1,254-mile border, Texas to Mexico, plus Arizona, plus New Mexico, plus California. We don't have enough people to be every eighth of a mile to catch every person. So the public needs to understand it's far worse than the 8 million, far worse. When I became Lieutenant Governor with Governor Abbott in 2015, we increased border funding at that time. It had been about $200 million a year up until then, or less, up to $800 million for our 2-year budget. And now more than $4 billion of hardworking Texas taxpayers are going to building the wall, funding additional law enforcement, and all the costs that are involved on the social side to our cities and counties. Ronald Reagan once said, Mr. Gorbachev, tear down that wall. I say to Joe Biden, Mr. Biden, build up that wall. We need it across Texas and New Mexico and Arizona and California to protect American citizens all across this country besides in our states. The president can give everyone a great Christmas present by doing an about face and saying he will secure the border and shut it down now. Lives depend on it. Lives depend on it. We've seen recent murders, recent sexual offenses, and crime all across our 254 counties that we can trace back to many who are here illegally. Mr. Biden is putting the lives of Texans and the lives of Americans at risk in the future of our country and a potential terrorist attack. Governor, thank you for inviting us to be here with you today, and we will together do everything we can to protect this border, even if Joe Biden will not. And Senate Bill 4 by Charles Perry and David Spiller, that will be the bill that will change the dynamics of states being able to stop the invasion for ourselves. Thank you, Governor. Thanks, sir.
Thank you. Next, we have the president of the National Border Patrol Council, Brendan Judd.
Governor, it's good to be here with you today. All we want to do is have an honest conversation about what's taking place on the border. We're talking about illegal immigration, not talking legal immigration. We want to stop illegal immigration, and we want to protect all citizens throughout this entire nation, not just here in Texas. For that reason, I'm so grateful to Governor Abbott. I'm so grateful to be able to be here on behalf of all of the men and women of the United States Border Patrol nationwide, not just in Texas. Your efforts have saved lives, not just the lives of U.S. citizens, but the lives of illegal immigrants as well. If it wasn't for what Governor Abbott has done, for his leadership, Lieutenant Governor Patrick, we're grateful to you as well. The leadership that we have seen has saved lives, and these bills that have now become law will undoubtedly save more lives of U.S. citizens and those people that want to cross our borders illegally. What this will do is this will allow us to go after the cartels. It will allow us to go after the profits that is fueling what we're currently seeing on our border today. If we can take out the profit of the cartels, we can stop illegal immigration. We can stop the flood of drugs that are coming into the United States that are killing so many of our fellow citizens. If we would have the strength of will, like what Governor Abbott has shown with all of our governors on our southwest border, this problem would go away tomorrow. We have to have proper policy that doesn't cost the taxpayer a dime. If we had that policy, we would be able to secure the border tomorrow. And these steps that a governor is taking, rather than the president of the United States, is going to save thousands upon thousands of lives. And for that reason, Governor, all of the men and women of the United States Border Patrol are extremely grateful for all that you've done. Thank you.
And we do once again give our gratitude to the men and women who serve in Border Patrol across the nation. We know that they are committed to the cause. We also know they have a president who's tied their hands. The president must let those Border Patrol officers do the job that the laws of the United States of America command them to do. But I want each of them to know the gratitude that I, as governor, and that the people of the state of Texas have for their service. Now, the president of the United States, Joe Biden, created a new position called the Border Czar. The Border Czar, Kamala Harris, has never actually been to a real border like this with a real border wall and encounter illegal immigrants coming across the border. In Texas, because the National Border Czar was not doing her job, I created a Border Czar. His name is Mike Banks. Our Border Czar lives and works on the border every day. And he served for more than 2 decades as a Border Patrol agent himself. He knows the border.
Recordings just got better. Hey, it's Dana from StreamYard. I'm so excited to announce that
He knows immigration. He knows how to address people coming across the border. And he's provided a high level of expertise for the state of Texas in a response to the border crisis caused by Joe Biden. So our next speaker is Mike Banks, the Texas Border Czar.
In the absence of the Biden administration, America has become saddled with the disaster open border policies that this administration has put upon us. Just remember, Joe Biden, Secretary of Mayorkas, inherited the most secure border I've seen in my lifetime, and they've managed to turn it into a complete disaster. I'm thankful for Governor Abbott for stepping up and protecting not only Texans, but the rest of the people that are in the United States of America through Operation Lone Star. For decades, I served as a member of federal law enforcement and as a Border Patrol agent. I went toe-to-toe with the cartel, and I understand what it takes to defeat a monstrous organization such as the cartel. And what that takes is sweeping measures, real action, and strong consequence. That we see Governor Abbott continue to do day in and day out. Under Governor Abbott's leadership, Operation Lone Star has deployed tactical infrastructure in the form of sea wire, anti-climb fencing, and tactical marine barriers. This tactical infrastructure has allowed us to create great deterrence along Texas as we continue to build the wall that you see here today. But I want to explain something very clearly. Walls alone will not solve this disastrous border crisis that the Biden administration has created. What will is consequence for violating laws, combined with the probability of arrest and prosecution for coming to this country illegally. Today's bill signings by the governor will allow Texas to continue building the wall such as you see here today, while empowering our law enforcement officers to arrest those who come into Texas illegally. It will also enhance criminal penalties for crimes such as smuggling and stash house operations. As a veteran Border Patrol agent and as Texas Border Czar, I want to thank the Texas legislature for their continued dedication in protecting our great state, but I really want to commend Governor Abbott for having the moral courage to defend Texas and our country when President Biden refuses to do so.
Thank you. In Texas, we have a National Guard that understands a core mission, and that is to protect and secure the United States, including the state of Texas. And they have the flexibility to be able to maneuver.
Do you all want to continue watching this or move on to something else? It's up to you all. There's still over 10 minutes of this left, as you can see on screen. But we get the gist of this, and he kept his word because this here was a month ago or so that JLR done this. What does this say? 3 weeks ago. This was 3 weeks ago. Give him a thumbs up there. But here, I will keep watching it, Blue Jeans. This is interesting. If we don't finish it live, I'm going to go back and watch the rest of it myself. It's up to y'all. Have a good evening, Ellen. Thank you for coming by, love. You're very welcome. You're welcome anytime. You know that. I hope you know that. Just about anybody's welcome. There's a few that's not welcome here, but even if I don't like some people, they're still welcome here. But there's some that I wouldn't piss on if they were on fire. That's not welcome. Finish it, Trilly? Okay. Good deal, because I wanted to finish it.
In ways to address unusual circumstances. And that's exactly what they're doing in Texas as we speak right now. Texas has had to deploy thousands upon thousands of Texas National Guard members to safeguard the border itself. They have undertaken the construction of much of the concertina wire, razor wire border barrier, and then stand guard behind that barrier, denying illegal entry to people who try to enter the United States illegally. They have repelled or turned back more than 75,000 people who attempted to enter into Texas illegally. I want to thank General Seltzer, the Adjutant General of the Texas National Guard, for his leadership of this extraordinary team. And at this time, I introduce General Seltzer.
Thank you, Governor. The Texas National Guard, your National Guard, remains decisively engaged with thousands of troops from El Paso down to Brownsville. In this effort, we've constructed over 72 miles of fence, as the governor said, 110 miles of concertina wire. And in our latest effort to block migrants into the United States, we have started putting up over 1,400.
How do you take 20,000 children in the middle of New York City without anybody seeing?
Anti-climb barrier panels. To date, we put up 575 of these 12x8 panels. They're used in conjunction with fields of concertina wire to protect the sovereignty of the state of Texas. Additionally, we are employing new surveillance vehicles that will provide overwatch using day-night cameras and radar that can track over 300 contacts in order to get after the gotaways that are getting into the country. These temporary barriers are in place while Texas undergoes its unprecedented effort to build its own border wall. I'd like to thank the governor for your relentless efforts to protect Texans, Lieutenant Governor, and the legislators behind us for giving the Texas National Guard all the tools they need to keep Texans safe.
Thank you very much. And last, I want to thank the Texas Department of Public Safety for also being flexible in their duty to safeguard our state. They've deployed an extraordinary number of DPS troopers to border regions across the entire state, and they have arrested thousands upon thousands of extraordinarily dangerous criminals who've come across the border and made Texas safer because of it. We wouldn't be the state that we are without our DPS troopers. With all that said, we'll be happy to take a few questions.
What is your message to some of the residents?
Go for it.
Thank you, Governor. What is your message to some of the residents of Brownsville who are worried that there could be some side effects to these laws that could lead to profiling or improper detention of law-abiding citizens and their loved ones?
So one thing that officers understand, and that is wrong to profile. The goal of these laws is to make sure that when they see somebody crossing over the border, as the National Guard see, as the Texas Department of Public Safety see, they know that they're not profiling. They are seeing with their own eyes people who are violating the law. And now they're going to have the ability to arrest them and prosecute them, make them subject to jail, make them subject to being sent back, and then make them subject to even greater penalties if they dare come into Texas a second time. So the only thing we are doing by this law.
But wasn't they already arresting them? Wasn't that like part of the problem? Or are they going to get arrested different this time? Okay, if you got all these immigrants, illegals sitting here in this building waiting to be gone to court and stuff, why are you still letting more in arresting them if you ain't even got the ones you already got here out? Ship their ass back. You need to have room for these new ones coming in. And eventually it would slow down if they were serious and made examples of these people, you know? Just like the woman and kid that died. That is really fucking horrible. The woman knew better. She knew, why would she ever put her kids in that situation? Because it's wrong. It's wrong. But they've already got all these people already and these sinners waiting to be gone to court and shit.
Is making sure that our law enforcement have the tools they need to actually take action against those who are actually coming across the border illegally.
Every day there's about 10,000 people that come over the border. How many arrests are you expecting under this program? And what is your message to someone who came over last year to be working in a kitchen in Houston? What's your message to that person?
So we anticipate with SB 4 that cracks down on illegal entry, that should reduce the number of people coming across the border. We've already seen.
How many will you arrest every day?
Well, let me finish this and I'll probably try to more fully answer your question. If you talk to Mike Banks or talk to General Seltzer, one thing they can tell you is that because of the actions that we've already taken, Texas, which used to be #1 for illegal crossings, now has been displaced by Arizona, which is #1 for illegal crossings. My point is that actions and deterrents work in causing the migrants to go elsewhere. With SB 4, the consequences of it are so extreme that the people being smuggled by the cartels, they will not want to be coming into the state of Texas. The cartels will not want to be coming into the state of Texas. And so we expect a dramatic drop, well over 50%, maybe 75% of the people coming across the border illegally will stop entering through the state of Texas. And where the cartels may take them after that, I have no idea. The personnel that are focused on the mission of SB 4 are in the border region. That said, There are cases that will expand beyond it. As an example, you'll have people cross the border illegally. They'll get into a vehicle. There will be a smuggler driving them. It could be a San Antonio, it could be to Houston, it could be wherever they're going. And there is a lawful way now that law enforcement has where they can trace down that car and arrest the smuggler, as well as arrest those that came across the border illegally.
Governor, are you trying to overturn Arizona versus the United States?
We believe this law has been crafted in a way that can and should be upheld by the courts on its own without having to overturn the Arizona case. That said, it does open up the possibility for the Supreme Court to reconsider the Arizona case, remembering that Justice Scalia wrote a dissenting opinion in that case, pretty much laying out a pathway that he thought would be a legal way for a state to go about the process of enforcing immigration laws. So again, we think that Texas already has a constitutional authority to do this, but we also welcome a Supreme Court decision that would overturn the precedent set in the Arizona case. I'll let her follow up. Say it again.
That police officers are not going to be prepared to enforce the law. How do you plan to train police officers to make sure that they can enforce the law in Texas?
So a police officer, a law enforcement officer, does not get to take duty on the streets without being trained. Training is a core component of someone who gets the badge and gets the responsibility to patrol the streets.
Will they trespassing arrest continue? And what about these arrests, these temporary arrests? Do you feel that it is a successful strategy to keep implementing?
So we believe that the trespassing arrest, so you're talking about the trespassing arrest, not this. It's hard to say whether or not the trespassing arrest will continue with the effectiveness of SB4. SB4 may replace the arrest for trespass. That said, it's very important to understand anyone trespassing can still be subject to arrest. And so both can work together at the same time. It's just that with regard to SB4, especially for those who are caught in act, crossing the border illegally, it seems like the tools in SB4 are stronger, especially as it concerns setting the precedent for a repeat offender who could wind up behind bars for 20 years.
One more question, guys. What will happen? Mexico said they likely would not accept the migrants Texas will send back. What will happen to that?
What would happen if Texas doesn't accept the migrants that Mexico sends to Texas? Exactly. So, listen, we're a border that goes both ways. Mexico can stop all of this. Mexico actually is a cause of part of this. Why is Mexico allowing so many illegal immigrants into their country and then fast-tracking them to the state of Texas? What Lopez Obrador has done is reprehensible, subjecting thousands upon thousands of people to torture, to rape, to assault, to even death. And he just fast-tracks them to the state of Texas and thinks he can condemn Texas because of it? That's outrageous. He needs to understand that he is a large reason for the migration problem that we have in the United States of America. And
What will happen to the migrants that are currently sent back?
we're going to send them right back to Mexico. Thank you very much.
Good job. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was
Interesting, huh? They're finally going to take this seriously, maybe? Looks like they're trying. Right, Weenie Banny. Okay, let's go on to something else. What about Savannah Soto and Matthew case? Y'all been following any of the drama with that fucking shit? It's insane, man. Like, it seems like the parents to these kids are ruthless. They're like going at people pretty hardcore from what I've seen on TikTok. So yeah, let's. Have y'all seen about the cult or something involved in this case? It's interesting as well. And I've just seen bits and pieces here and there, but guess who has a video on it? Our man JLR. Evil cult. Yes, I've heard about the cult too from JLR, that JLR talking about here that we're going to listen to. This case is really mind-blowing, kind of. in my opinion. The cult. I've only seen bits and pieces of this, but I remember seeing it recently.
Jonathan Lee Riches Investigates. I am covering the Savannah Soto Matthew Guerra case out of San Antonio, Texas. I want to share some new information with all of you. There's a guy right here. I'm going to share some information about this guy right here. Who is this guy? Well, he's a leader of a cult, and he's serving many years in prison. Let's talk about this guy, because the family of Matthew speaks about this guy and a cult that is allegedly harassing the family of Matthew, the Guerra family. Check out this Facebook post by the family of Matthew, and then we will further discuss. Check it out. So this is a post by Matthew's family. As if what we're not dealing with is enough, I find out that the cult, yes, cult I was born and raised in, makes a video about my son, daughter-in-law, and grandson saying I deserve what happened to us. What kind of religion is that? It makes me sick to my stomach. Why do they do this? Why do they harass everyone that speaks up about their pedo leader, Nason Jaquan Garcia? This is just disgusting. They should be ashamed of themselves. This is called Church La Luz del Mundo, aka the light of the world, does not practice love. It practices hatred. Go watch all the documentaries out there, Netflix, HBO, and soon in the US by the A&E channel. Also, also where I publicly spoke up first on Brian Ross, Law and Crime channel. Stay away from this evil cult. This is the family of Matthew calling out a cult that they say is harassing their family, harassing Matthew, harassing Savannah, and the grandson, baby Fabian. What is going on here, people? A cult making videos about Matthew, Savannah, baby Fabian? What's going on here, people? Family of Matthew said they were once part of this cult where this guy I just showed you serving many years in prison. I got that guy's court sentencing. Let me share this guy's court sentencing with you. He got a long time. The judge had something to say to him.
So I've been a judge for a long time. I'm in my 38th year. And I've never ceased to be amazed at what some people do in the name of religion. And how lives are ruined in the guise of serving a supreme being. As of the Jane Does, at this point, I apologize, my hands are tied. Lawyers do what lawyers do. And at this point, my hands are tied. But I further want to tell all the Jane Does that the world has heard you. I promise you that. As to those family members that have abandoned the Jane Does, shame. Shame on you. And as to the defendant, I say, you are a sexual predator. In this case, probation is denied. The reason being as a condition of the case settlement. As to count 7, a violation of Penal Section 287, Subdivision C, Subdivision 2, Subdivision C, defendant sentenced to state prison for the midterm of 8 years. The reason being as a condition of the case settlement. As to count 9, violation of Penal Section 287, Subdivision Subdivision C, Subdivision 2, Subdivision C, defendant's levied a consecutive term of a full term of the midterm 8 years in state prison. The reason for that is as a condition of the case settlement and under Penal Section 667.6, Subdivision B. As to count 1, a violation of Penal Section 288, Subdivision C, Subdivision 1, the defendant is levied a consecutive term for the reason of being part of the case settlement, must be 1/3 the midterm. The midterm is 2 years. 1/3 thereof is 8 months. The defendant is levied a term in state prison of 16 years and 8 months. Pursuant to Penal Section 1202.4, Subdivision D, the defendant is levied a $300 restitution fine. Pursuant to Penal Section 1202.45, the defendant is levied a $300 probation revocation fine, which is suspended, a $120 security fee, which is $40 per count, a $90 criminal court assessment, which is $30 per count, is submitted tissue sample pursuant to Penal Section 296. Pursuant to Penal Section 1202.4, Subdivision F, defendants pay restitution as to be determined at a hearing August 18, 2022, 8:30 a.m. The department defendant is not ordered to appear, as he has waived his right. He's given the following credits: 1,102 actual days, 165 days conduct credits, and as pursuant to Penal Section 2933.1. We are done.
Your Honor, did you institute the lifetime sexual agreement?
That's been done by the parole board. Thank you. People's motion. That is granted.
So what does this all mean? Is this cult trying to claim that the family of Matthew and Savannah Matthew and baby Fabian deserved it? What in the world? Other people are saying online, I actually saw that they're saying it's not the Preciados. It was this cult that did it and set the Preciados up. Or even I've even seen people say that the Preciados were part of this cult and it was a revenge plot on Savannah and Matthew. Did you guys see that? Because I seen it. What in the world's going on here? Is this cult involved or not? And why is this cult allegedly harassing the family of Matthew? Let me know what you think I wanted to share this information, the latest in this case. What's up with this cult? Have you ever heard of this cult before? Have you ever heard of this church? Have you heard of that guy I just shared? Let me know what you think in the comments. Subscribe to the channel, hit the notification button covering this event.
It's interesting, huh? I don't know what it would have to do with this case. Maybe it does. Even though the dude's locked up, don't mean shit. You can do more on the inside than you can outside sometimes. Blue jeans and pearls. I had seen a screenshot of something somewhere, but I didn't know any details on it until JLR. He's on it, man. All these cases, I'm telling you. People want to talk shit about him, but he's getting shit done. I mean, he really ain't bothering nobody. You know, maybe the families and shit, but still, we wouldn't know what we get to know from him if he wasn't nosy and pushy and yeah. He ain't everybody's cup of tea, but y'all think it could be related to the case? Could the family been one of the Jane Does that helped put him away? Yeah, check him out for sure, Blue Jeans and Pearls. Here, I'll drop the link to the last video there we watched of his. Everybody sub up to him for real. I recommend JLR. He's changed and he's trying and he does his own thing and he tells us more than a lot of these people that just sit behind a keyboard, you know? You're not familiar with this case? It's sad, Nana. It is sad. It's crazy. Yeah, it is getting crazy quick, truly. And it's scary because this is like real life bad people. You know, it's like, ugh. Sorry, you might be good hearted stuff, but there's gangs and drugs and money and all that together, and it's not good. That never turns out good. Never. They always say if you don't stop it, the only way out is death or jail, and it's true. Once you get caught up in that lifestyle, it's hard to break that cycle. It really is. You hadn't heard about Savannah, the pregnant teenager and her boyfriend that got shot, Nana? You've not heard it? I thought everybody's heard this case. They might not know about it, but they've heard it. I don't know. Right, Blue Jeans and Pearl, right? Like this Christopher dude is not clicking with what happened. I don't know. It just don't make sense to me, but I feel like they were just a cleanup crew and setup crew. You know, set them up, got them to where they wanted them to go, and somebody else done the deed, and then Christopher and Dad and Mom cleaned up, or Mom done it, or I don't know. I thought maybe the mom was the one driving the Kia. And Christopher was Cowboy. You know, you never know. Because we didn't see neither one of them's face. They both got dark hair and ponytails. You know what I mean? It could have been. And they're covering for Mom. Because it's obvious Christopher and Dad was covering for Mom from the beginning because they never told on her. And just said it was them. And Christopher's bullshit story. Then Mama kind of outed him for being a liar. I was shocked too. It just didn't fit what happened, did it, Blue Jeans? It didn't. It just didn't fit that type of murder. 2 people and the one's pregnant, overdue pregnant. Yeah, that's the case we're talking about, Nana. And evidently this guy that we just seen locked up there in the courtroom, knows his family, Matthew's family or something. I don't know. Some cult's been harassing them. Yeah, how could anybody do that? I know it's the baby's fault. The baby never stood a chance. That little baby never stood a chance. But this family is something's off, ain't it, Blue Jeans? It is. It's I swear that was a woman in that fucking video, but what the fuck? My phone is blowing up. Yeah, they got 3 people now. They arrested the mom, the wife, whatever she is. I think it's been proven that she's his mom biologically. Jealous ex-girlfriend, that's what I thought. But I was wrong, allegedly. Something just don't make sense here. I think they were hired. I really do. To not pull. I don't think that little boy could have pulled a trigger like that and pulled this off. I don't feel like he could pull this off. These aren't the brightest fucking people in the world. Look at them. There's video. There's their own video from their own house. You know, like you got yourself caught. Get rid of that shit. They knew they had the fucking cameras, right? Did they just think they wouldn't get caught? They was that good? No. And the gun was there. Like, what the hell? The world's dumbest criminals, I swear. Allegedly, they're a crime family. I don't know, Nana. I don't know. That's what I don't fucking know. But he just don't fit the profile, in my opinion, of someone that would do a murder like this. One of them point blank, you know, Rat had the gun to his head when it happened. And it's like, what the fuck? And then you kill a pregnant girl? That takes a really, really heartless person to kill a pregnant woman like that. And that's fucked up. I don't care what they done, who they are, what they sold, what they didn't sell, who they hit each other. I don't care about none of that when it comes to that little baby. That baby was innocent, and that's the victim in this, in my opinion. And it's horrible. These kids know better. Whatever happened? I don't know. Is it a robbery? Somebody just robbing him? Revenge? Retaliation? Payback? What was this? Jealous ex? A baby, yeah. A baby that never took its first breath in this world. That was due, that could have lived outside of its mama. It was more than ready. That's what hurts my heart. That little baby, I couldn't imagine. But that baby, its mama didn't break the cycle. Maybe that it would take that baby to make her grow up, you know, get out of that lifestyle, and him too. Can't judge them really, you know, at least you've done what you had to do for your family, but still, look what got you. That's like, Yeah, it hurts my heart, the baby. Some kind of tax fraud that oh, did y'all know Jelly Roll was at the Senate hearing recently? Have y'all watched that? Y'all know who Jelly Roll is, right? I know I'm squirreling off here, but I had this bookmarked. Yeah, they're gonna. Yeah, it is painful. It's hard for me to cover baby cases. That's why I kind of don't get too deep if there's a baby like this involved because it breaks my fucking heart. No Harmony Montgomery. Let's pray she gets found this year or something. Summer 2, Monkey. All these missing babies. How do you think he's seeing blue jeans? Like evil different? Like or how? Something does seem off, but I don't know. I just don't think the little boy could pull this off by himself. Who are you talking about, Nana? Sorry, I'm lost. Maybe it's because I'm just squirreling. I hate the lag in this shit. That little baby. God rest his soul. Never mind, I know, Jelly Roll. Damn it, Valerie. It just hit me, Nana, sorry. This was like 4 hours long, but this is a clip out of it. Yeah, Nana, I got it now. I said it. You'll hear me say it. I just told you I squirrel. Okay, here we go. This is just like a 6-minute clip of it, but yeah.
Band behind me when I have a microphone in front of me. During the time that I've been given to share my testimony here, I think it's important to note before I'm used to having a rock and roll band behind me when I have a microphone in front of me. During the time that I've been given to share my testimony here, I think it's important to note before I start that in these 5 minutes I'll be speaking that somebody in the United States will die of a drug overdose, and it is almost a 72% chance that during those 5 minutes it will be fentanyl related. Having started that way, Chairman Brown, Ranking Member Scott, and esteemed committee members, thank you for having me. I know this is a bit of a curveball, but I like a little baseball myself. My name is Jason D. Ford, but to most I am known as Jelly Roll. It is important to establish earlier that I am a musician and that I have no political alliance. I am neither Democrat nor Republican. In fact, because of my past, my right to vote has been restricted. Thus far, I have never paid attention to a political race in my life. Ironically, I think that makes me the perfect person to speak about this because fentanyl transcends partisanship and ideology, gentlemen and women. This is a totally different problem. And I was speaking outside to the media, and I gave them a statistic that said 190 people a day overdose and die every single day in the United States of America. That is about a 737 plane. That's what about a 737 aircraft can carry. Could you imagine the national media attention it would get if they were reporting that a plane was crashing every single day and killing 190 people. But because it's 190 drug addicts, we don't feel that way. Because America has been known to bully and shame drug addicts instead of dealing and trying to understand what the actual root of the problem is with that. But the sad news is that that narrative is changing too, because the statistics say that in all likelihood, almost every person in this room has lost a friend, family member, or colleague to the disease known as addiction. I've attended more funerals than I care to share with y'all. This committee, I could sit here and cry for days about the caskets I've carried of people I loved dearly, deeply, in my soul, good people, not just drug addicts, uncles, friends, cousins, normal people. Some people that just got in a car wreck and started taking a pain pill to manage it. One thing led to the other. And how fast it spirals out of control, I don't think people truly understand. So many people. Equally, I think it's important for me to tell y'all that I'm not here to defend the use of illegal drugs. And I also understand the paradox of my history as a drug dealer standing in front of this committee. But equally, I think that's what makes me perfect to talk about this. I was a part of the problem. I am here now standing as a man that wants to be a part of the solution. I brought my community down. I hurt people. I was the uneducated man in the kitchen playing chemist with drugs I knew absolutely nothing about, just like these drug dealers are doing right now when they're mixing every drug on the market with fentanyl, and they're killing the people we love. I'll be honest with y'all, my desire is to only get older and only do better and be better. I believed when I sold drugs genuinely that selling drugs was a victimless crime. I truly believe that, y'all. My father always told me what doesn't get you in the wash will get you in the rinse. Now I have a 15-year-old daughter whose mother is a drug addict. Every day I get to look in the eyes of a victim in my household of the effects of drugs, every single day. And every single day I have to wonder, if me and my wife, if today will be the day that I have to tell my daughter that her mother became a part of the national statistic. History repeats itself, gentlemen. Even in the 1990s, crack cocaine had long made its way into my middle lower class neighborhood. And at that moment, even as a teenager, you could have never convinced me in that moment that there would be a far bigger problem on the horizon in the form of a pharmaceutical drug. And then I watched opioids and Oxycontin burst onto the scene. I'm here to tell y'all that fentanyl is going to make the Sackler family look like saints. And I want to let y'all sit with that for a second. It is time for us to be proactive and not reactive. We were reactive with crack, we were reactive with opioids, and y'all are taking the first step at somebody in Senate finally being proactive. I truly believe in my heart that this bill will stop the supply and can help stop the supply of fentanyl. But in part of being proactive, gentlemen and women and ladies, I have to be frank and tell y'all that if we don't talk to the other side of Capitol Hill and stop the demand, we are going to spin our tires in the mud. Y'all are taking the first step, but I encourage you to take it outside of this room and you take it to your colleagues and your constituents and you give them the most that you can. I know I've got a few seconds here, and Senator Brown said I may or may not go over. All I want to say is that I not only encourage y'all to do this, I encourage y'all to take it a step further. At every concert I perform, I witness the heartbreaking impact of fentanyl. I see fans grappling with this tragedy in the form of music that they seek solace in music and hope that their experiences won't befall others. They crave reassurance. These are the people I'm here to speak for, y'all. These people crave reassurance that their elected officials actually care more about human life than they do about ideology and partisanship. I stand here as a regular member of society. I am a stupid songwriter, y'all, but I have firsthand witnessed this in a way most people have not. I encourage y'all to not only pass this bill, but I encourage you to bring it up where it matters, at the kitchen table. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Mr. DeFord.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube.
Yeah, no, same. I can, yeah. You know, whenever he said that about his daughter, that gets me. You know, and I follow Jelly Roll and Bunny both. I love Bunny. He has. Yeah, he's a good dude. Well, that's about all I have, and I'm going to get off here. And Cher's going live later, I believe. So thank you all for coming. Talk to you later. Bye.